Last time we talked about like the methods of voting called the plurality system, where it was just like whoever got the most first place votes is the winner, right? You know, we did a great job with that. Today we learned two different methods. The first one's really, really hard to pronounce. I think it's pronounced condorcet winner. I'll always help you pronounce it. It's a weird one. It's this guy's last name that came up with this system. So if I created a system, they call it the phone and still winner or something. So it's this condorcet winner. And then this is the way that I like, right? This instant runoff voting. So check it out. This was everything that we talked about last time, where people voted, did they want to go to Anaheim, Orlando, or Hawaii? Like they just had a vote on that situation. Same chart as last time, but there's something wrong with that method. Something wrong with it. Because what happened was Anaheim ended up winning with 4 votes. You see they had 1 vote here and 3 votes here for a total of 4 votes. You know, Anaheim ended up winning, but what this Condorcet dude figured out was like, you know what? What if there weren't 3 choices? What if we'd like just had everybody go one-on-one? So what they're trying to do here is like, if Anaheim was up against Orlando, how would have that vote went? And then it's like, if Anaheim was up against Hawaii, how would have that vote went? And if Orlando was up against Hawaii, how would that go? So it's a little weird at first. Follow my lead here. If I want to do Anaheim versus Orlando, these first 4 spots right here are just all helper spots for us to realize there was 4 different columns in the way that chart went. So check out this first column. If I can get this to stop falling down. Check out this first column right here. Who wins in Anaheim versus Orlando? Which one in just that pink column was actually the winner? Anaheim versus Orlando. What do you think? Do you see how Anaheim was their first choice and Orlando was their second choice? Are you with me on that? So what we'll do is we'll count how many times that happened with the same way as before. Let's put a 1 in there. In that first column, Anaheim got 1 vote compared to Orlando. Then I'm going to look at it again. I'm going to use this second column right here. And who wins just between Anaheim and Orlando? I know Hawaii is in there also, but if it was just Anaheim versus Orlando, who was higher? Anaheim was. Are you with me on that? But how many votes did they get out of that? You see they get 3, because like 3 people felt that way. So I'm going to put a 3 right here under the A category, because Anaheim won in that situation. And then we look over here in this next column, between Anaheim and Orlando, what did those people prefer? Do you see how Orlando is up in first place and Anaheim is in last place in that situation? So Orlando actually won in that contest, and they get 3 votes. So I'm going to put a 3 in this category right here. There's 3 votes for Orlando. And then over here, between Anaheim and Orlando, who was the winner? I know Hawaii actually took first place, but if they had to choose between Anaheim and Orlando, who actually did they prefer most? Anaheim, because he's above it in that case. Are you with me on that? So Anaheim got 3 votes there. How did I get a 3? Because of that column title up there. So all of this, let me use a pen so we can actually read it, was just like a little helper to see how many total votes Orlando got. If you add these up right here, why do I have a total of, okay, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 votes for Orlando. Do you see where I got the 7 from? And 3 votes in that situation. What I think would be handy for us to do is circle the winner. Anaheim won. If they made these people vote Anaheim versus Orlando, Anaheim was actually the winner in that. But let's check out Anaheim versus Hawaii. So I'm going to just go through it again. That's why highlighting is kind of a bad deal. You can't erase. Anaheim versus Hawaii, if I go in this column, who wins out of Anaheim versus Hawaii? Anaheim does, with 1 vote. Anaheim versus Hawaii here. Who wins in that situation? Anaheim versus Hawaii, who wins? Anaheim. How many votes? 3. And then let's go again. Anaheim versus Hawaii. Doesn't Hawaii finish above Anaheim in that case, right? So how many votes do they get? They get 3, right? And then, oh, sorry, that is actually Hawaii that got those 3 votes. And then over here, doesn't Hawaii beat Anaheim again, right? So they get another 3 votes. Here, Hawaii got 6 votes, and Anaheim got 4 votes. If they had to choose just between Anaheim and Hawaii, who actually won? Hawaii did. Circle in that winner right there. Could you try that for Orlando versus Hawaii with a neighbor? Try that, fill out the chart, help each other. I'll help you if you need it. So Orlando won out of the first column. Out of Hawaii versus Orlando in the second column, Hawaii gets 3 votes. Here, Orlando got 3 votes. And here, Hawaii got 3 votes. Are we kind of okay with where that came from? It's a little weird. It's only our first example. But this one got 6 and this one got 4. Who won? Hawaii. So what this little mathematician named Marcus de Condorcet realized was like, hey, that's kind of weird. Even though Anaheim, if all 3 cities were in the vote, Anaheim got 4 out of 10 votes. If it was just on one-on-ones, here's the moral of the story. Did anybody win twice? Here, Anaheim won. Here, Hawaii won. Here, Hawaii won. Did anybody win twice? Hawaii won twice. Hawaii was preferred 6 out of the 10 times, both of these guys. Why didn't Hawaii win here? Because Hawaii wasn't even in that conversation. It was like Anaheim versus Orlando. So that's a weird one, man. You know, that's called the Condorcet winner. Hawaii actually would have won if we would have went one-on-one with each one of those situations. That's weird. Let's try another one of those right here. Here, they use some wacky old algebra symbols. Can I refresh your memory that this symbol right here, you might want to write it down, is greater than? You know, there was the greater than and the less than symbol. So, like, this symbol that they're using in the chart is the greater than symbol. So out of 3 choices here, I know they're just generic X, Y's, and Z's, right? In this first guy right here, it says like X is greater than Z, which is greater than Y. Like, it's always going to be greater than. That means like this is your first place winner, this is your second place winner, and this is your third place winner. It's going to go in that order. Like, whichever's on the left just takes first. So are you down with the fact that X got 19 first place votes? They just kind of twisted the chart on us a little bit in that case. So let's do X versus Y in this scenario. And what you have to do, though, is look this way. You have to always read the chart up and down. So in this first situation, no, that's wrong. I take that back. We got to look this way. Who won X versus Y? Who was farther left, X or Y? X wins. How many votes do they get? 19. Right? We're doing X versus Y. I'm going to read the second column. X versus Y. Who is farther left, X or Y? Y is. They get 15 votes. In this row right here, X versus Y. Y is farther left, and they get how many votes? 6. And then finally, the last row here, X versus Y, is it X farther to the left in that case? So they get 5 votes. Let's add these up. 19 plus 5. You can punch it in. What's 19 plus 5? 24. And then 15 plus 6, 21. Who won if they wanted to go X versus Y? Who won? X did. So I like to circle that. I kind of got ahead of myself. There is a typo on this. This should only be a 20 instead of a 21. Z was the plurality winner. If we just did first place votes, Z actually won. Z got 15 votes here and 5 votes here. They had 20 out of these 45 votes. So Z really won if we didn't go one-on-one. Let's see what happens if we do go one-on-one. So X was a winner here. Could you compare X to Z? And I'll just kind of go one at a time and coach you. You're comparing X versus Z. Whoever's farther left is the winner. Whoever's farther left is the winner. So shouldn't X get 19 votes in that first one? Try that on the second column. Please try. It's okay if you make a mistake. It's X versus Z is who you're comparing. X versus Z. Doesn't Z win 15 votes out of that situation? And then here, X versus Z. X got 6, if I could use a pen. And X versus Z, we get 5. Is that right? This is 25 votes. This is 20 votes. Who is the winner? X is. There it is. I've already got somebody who's won twice. in one-on-one competitions. X has won the first election, X has won the second election. X is like the Condorcet winner in that case. You know, it's just kind of weird. They will have you answer questions like this on your homework. The thing that they won't have for you is like the charts above it, so you probably just take your own notes and just go, every little row that you got, compare those dudes. Was there a Condorcet winner? Yes, X. Even though Z got the most votes, if we did first place votes, and all this. And that's pretty lame. Honestly, that's hard to understand because, first of all, we don't know what X, Y, and Z are. You know, I think it's a lot easier with our food example between Oreos and Goldfish and Cheez-Its. It makes a little more sense. And we'll do that next time, right? I want to get this system down, and then we'll see who won our food election, you know, based off some of these new systems, right? But the Condorcet winner is a lot of work because you got to sit there and compare everybody one-on-one. I don't like it. So what I'll do next, if you're watching in video land, is we're going to take a small moment to watch this 2-minute video in class. If you would pause the video here, go to that video and watch it, and then come back to this video, that would be awesome. So sweet, we watched that nice little instant runoff with the sticky notes. Here is a new election. There's Jimmy, Lindsay, and Joseph running for some sort of vote. I don't know what they're voting for, but the first thing homework's going to ask you today is, let's go back to last time and see who won the plurality. Plurality is just first place votes. So we're reading here. How many first place votes did Jimmy get? 26, so we'll fill that out here. And then Joseph got 38, and then Lindsay got 14. Are we cool with that? That's just the plurality method. According to this, who wins? It's just whoever has the most. Joseph does, right? But the only way that should be a true winner in a very good election is if that is a majority. So what they ask us to do then is how many voters were in the election. Grab a calculator and add those 3 numbers up right there. That's what we did last time. So, I believe that is correct. 26. Yeah, it does turn out to be 78. I'm not going to waste your time. Is that okay? 78. How many votes are needed to find a majority? We will take the total number of votes and divide it by 2. And that is 39 would be dead middle, right? But you have to have 1 more vote than that. So how many would you really need? 40 votes. Love it. Cool. Go back to Joseph, who won that election by plurality. Did he get a majority of the votes? He has to have 40 or more. He did not, right? He did not. So what then they'll do in this election, if they're doing it a good way, is they'll say, okay, we didn't have a majority winner. We're going to do an instant runoff instead, right? So that's like the sticky note thing. So the homework's going to kind of have you do 1 move over. They say, okay, here's the instant runoff method. Here's round 1. How many votes did they have in the first round? It's just a repeat, you know. It's all about your first place votes. I don't know why the homework wants us to repeat that. But you got to eliminate last place person. Whoever finished last is out of the race. That would be Lindsay. Are you with me on that? Lindsay is out of the race. Cool? But what has to happen then is we have to assign whoever Lindsay's votes were to their second place situation. So this is the Lindsay category right here. If you eliminate Lindsay from the race, bing, 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 what was that person's second choice? Jimmy. Jimmy now gets 14 more votes, right? Jimmy now gets 14 more votes. So, sorry, which candidate has the majority? We should answer that as none. I'm sorry, I skipped that step. Which candidate will be eliminated? Lindsay. Sorry, I was just talking about it and not writing it down. So before I go and answer these questions, there was no majority winner. So Lindsay gets eliminated. And then that means that we cross Lindsay out, and all of these 14 votes right here now go to Jimmy, because that was this category's second favorite candidate. So Lindsay, you'll have to type DNE into the computer, right? Lindsay doesn't exist. That's what DNE stands for, does not exist, because we eliminated her from the election. Joseph's votes stay the same, and Jimmy's, you add 14 to that. Why do we add 14? Because that's these votes that came from Lindsay's category. So if you add that up, you get 40 in that case. Is that right? Nice. Then by looking at that, which one has the majority? Jimmy. You need 40 or more to have the majority. Jimmy actually wins that election by instant runoff. Instant runoff, I kind of might refer to that as the sticky note method. You know, it's like that's what we did with the sticky notes. You eliminate last place and start putting all the next winners. So let's try that one more time here. Here's another election with Mackenzie, Jayla, and Terrell. How many votes did each candidate have? So Mackenzie has how many? We're reading this way. How many does Mackenzie get? 11. And then Jayla has 29, and either Terrell or Terrell, I'm not quite sure how that person pronounces it, they're just made up, gets 40. Who wins by plurality? It's just whoever's got the most. Who won that election if they did the plurality? Terrell. My name's Terrell. How many voters? I'll save you a little bit of time. Can you trust me that where I'm getting at is just adding these three numbers up, right up here? How many voters is 80? Is that cool? Can you and a neighbor figure out how many needed for majority? If 80 people voted, I'll let you figure it out. How many people voted? Or how many people are needed for majority? What do you think? 80 divided by 2 is 40. So what do you need? One more, right? 41. Did anybody get a majority? You need 41. Did anybody do a majority? Now, if there was, let's just talk about this. If there was, you don't need to do instant runoff. It's like, hey, we did the plurality, and let's just say Terrell had 42 votes, you know, and it's like, cool, he's the clear winner of this election because he had a majority of votes. If you got the majority, no need to do instant runoff. But this one is so close, but not quite so far away. So let's repeat it. Jayla had 29 votes, Mackenzie had 11 votes, and Terrell had 40 votes. Which one had the majority? There was none. Because even though Terrell was the winner by plurality, they did not have the majority. Cool? Who gets eliminated from this race, though? Mackenzie. She's only got 11 votes. Mackenzie. So what that means is when you get to this, Mackenzie no longer exists in this election. She has been eliminated. And wherever Mackenzie is in a column, we need to look up and down in that column and see who these people voted for as their second favorite between Jayla and Terrell. Isn't that Jayla in that case? So Jayla gets 11 more votes. So whatever Jayla had was 29 before. You add 11 to that, and that turns out to be 40. Ooh. And how many did Terrell get? Oh, no. Good question. Does anybody have the majority? Nope. Who wins the election? Nobody. So there's a small flaw with instant runoff. Sometimes that doesn't settle the case. So wouldn't it be cool if there was another way to find this election? And we'll do that on Thursday, right? But the answer to this question is nobody won because they never, by instant runoff. Nobody won by instant runoff because they did not get enough. Go ahead. We'll talk about it on Thursday. Does that sound cool? Like, it's a little too much for today, right? You know, we've got a whole new method to do Thursday. But there is one little thing that I was waiting to hear. We didn't, like, vote on our snacks kind of all at the same time. I was waiting to hear if people did this. The last thing is called insincere voting, where you, like, kind of make somebody else, persuade them to vote a certain way so you get your way kind of stuff. So here's the vote. We asked 3 places to go out to eat. Please wait on computers. We're not done. Please. So here's where we could go eat for lunch today. You got 3 choices: McDonald's, Vernie's, or Taco Shop. Are you with me on that? Those are our 3 places to vote for. Who won this? McDonald's gets 21 votes. Vernie's, sorry about that. Vernie's gets 6 votes, and Taco Shop had 23 votes. Are you with me on that? Can we talk about something here? What do you notice about McDonald's and Vernie's? Restaurant style-wise, they are almost the same thing. Aren't they basically hamburger places? Are you with me on that? I know they have chicken nuggets and stuff like that. I get that. But in the gist, isn't McDonald's and Vernie's both kind of like hamburger places? So, like, here's what happens. What if We had some people that were like, dude, I really want McDonald's. Didn't McDonald's lose? Isn't Taco Shop the clear winner by plurality? Taco Shop had 23 votes, McDonald's 21, and Vernie's 6. What would happen if all those people that wanted McDonald's talked to the Vernie's people and said, yo, dude, you just want a cheeseburger, right? That's all you want is a cheeseburger? McDonald's has freaking awesome cheeseburgers, and you can't get that at Taco Shop. You know, you cannot get a cheeseburger at Taco Shop. We need to get a cheeseburger. So they're like, dude, don't vote for Vernie's. Vote for McDonald's instead. Then we'll get our cheeseburgers. Are you with me on that? So if they sway the Vernie's people, guess who they voted for second place? They voted for McDonald's. So if Vernie's actually didn't happen, guess what? McDonald's would get 6 more votes. You know what I'm saying? McDonald's would get 6 more votes. And then who would win? McDonald's. So let's see what they say here. Even though the second column people actually wanted what? What was their real choice? What did they actually want? Vernie's. Even though they actually wanted Vernie's, their least favorite was Taco Shop. Are you with me on that? If they decided to all vote insincerely for McDonald's, that gives their blank votes to them. How many votes did the Vernie's people have? 6. And that was a just real basic food example with what happens with politics all the time, man. You know, it's like, even though, like, Bernie Sanders is my choice, he's way more similar to Hillary Clinton than he was to Donald Trump kind of stuff back in that election kind of story. So they try to sway people. Let's do some homework.